it's just kind of always stuck with me that whatever I commit to, I need to finish. There's so many analytics that go into triathlon because it doesn't matter what you can do on a training day or what you can do in the comforts of your own home. It matters what you can do in front of other people when there's actually competition present.
Honestly, he just posted that the Q&A box on Instagram, and that picture that I don't know who took it, but Harry took it. You like walking down the hallway. I was like, wait, who is it? Oh.
Right now, everything's just kind of building on each other, and we're doing like these little mock builds of nutrition the day before and training. So today will be my biggest ride to date, which you guys obviously saw my biggest ride to date last week. Last week's ride, or this week's ride, is building upon last week's ride, so it's going to be a longer ride today. It's going to be outside. I'm excited about today as well because Jordan's not had a ton of experience riding outside, so we're going to start the ride together. She's actually going to be racing the day before me in the sprint, so we're just going to do some like general warm up together, and then she just needs to get more experience on the bike and just control the bike and just feeling, the feel for the bike on the road. So we'll do an hour and a half together, and then I'll continue for another 2 hours after that. So 3.5 hours total for me today, and then I have a run off today, which I will do. Knee still isn't perfect, but it's a lot better than the condition that I was in last week, so I'm thankful for that. And we're just gonna keep working through it. She got a new ring for our 10th anniversary, but I took her original ring and turned it into a cross. So she has it around her neck. And then I reached out to our pastor and reshared our vows from our wedding in the car that I gave her for our anniversary. All right guys, so we're gonna work through a 30-minute warm-up, and then I'm gonna work through wattages, basically starting at 210 watts for 15 minutes for 2 rounds, then 235 for 12 minutes for 2 rounds, then a recovery period, and then we're gonna work at the wattage that I'm hoping to hold for the 70.3 distance, which is anywhere from 255 to 285, and then we're gonna push it even above that in 4-minute intervals, aiming for about 310 watts for 4 minutes, and do 3 rounds of that. So all in all, it's gonna be 3.5 hours with a 30-minute warm-up, 20-minute cool down, and then Jordan's gonna go through the first hour and a half with me. She's got a run off for 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna have a run off for 45, which will be a 2x2 mile once we finish up.
Now that you saved me, I sing 'cause you gave me a song of revival. I put it on vinyl. Rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up. I once was blinded, but now I see it. I heard about the power, and now I believe it. Oh, rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up. All the parts I came alive. This beat alive. These open eyes, the game and the darkness should have known. You're still rolling strong. You're still rolling strong.
Oh, that was hard. 65.5, sorry. Yeah, I almost stopped on the way home at 7-Eleven and got a Cliff Bar. I was like, man, I want a Cliff Bar. And I was like, just go home, man.
Could you eat that while you go?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Sit up?
Yeah, I think so. Well, let's find out. basically like a healthy Clif bar. So 10 grams of fat, 30 grams of carbs, like 6 grams of protein.
We were visiting my parents in Georgia, and he called me and said, I think I'm gonna do a triathlon. And I was like, all right, I'm ready to, okay, let's do it. And you'll do great, and we're gonna be all in. I think it's a good thing. I think that he needed to do something to occupy his thoughts. He needed someone to kind of divert his energy. He wasn't bodybuilding as much anymore. Training was happening, but not like it was before. And this was just a good avenue of him to kind of funnel in his competitiveness. So I'm really excited for that transition. Getting more healthy for the boy so he could move. And because there was times when he was bodybuilding where he couldn't move around with them, or like it was just harder for him to do things. So I think this enables him to be more active. And for me personally, triathlon is kind of always something I've been very fascinated with, and just endurance sports in general. So I was excited, and I think that I was like, yeah, this is a good thing, like make this transition. Walker rode his bike before Dallas did. Dallas was just, he's very like, I could get hurt, I could do this, like I don't feel like riding without my training wheels, not gonna do it. Well, we were watching a triathlon one day, and he was like, we're gonna go outside and play triathlon. And I'm like, oh, okay, but you have to ride your bike, and your bike doesn't have training wheels on. He's like, I'll figure it out. It has an impact on them just because they're seeing us being active and training, and he, likes to do those things too. So hopefully it will encourage them to, it doesn't have to be obviously triathlon, but just stay active. I think Matt wants to win or podium. I think that would be his goal, and I fully expect that, and have really no doubt that if it's not this race, he will win a race eventually and will qualify for the World Championships and do well there, because that's just who he is, and everything he puts his mind to, he does well at. So I'm not worried, or I don't know, I just like I'm ready for him to go and do it and see what that looks like.
You guys just saw, like, I just came off that bike ride. Not defeated, but I was definitely fatigued. So to be able to pull this out, like, that's the power of your mind. I was breaking that into half-mile blocks. And if you chop off half-mile blocks, it doesn't seem that big of a, it's not that big of a deal. It's so crucial. With as much as I felt like I was banging my head up against the wall at the beginning of my training, was to, and I truly, like when I say this, it wasn't out of vanity, but to let go of the muscle faster. Because when I did that, everything changed in terms of how I was performing in this sport. Because I was just carrying too much muscle, and I was making it too hard. I was fighting myself constantly. It was a constant battle, especially on the run. I was injuring myself all the time, especially in the water. I mean, I literally was just putting forth so much energy to not drown. Not drown, but not like, I couldn't stay on top of the water. You can't stay on top of the water, you can't swim right, So letting go of the years and years of investment that I put in the gym out of need, was honestly, if you're making this transition or you're wanting to do this, like, that has to be something that you consider. Because if not, it's just an uphill battle the whole way. Honestly, what I've seen, because again, this sport is filled with people that have a ton of mental toughness. And I would say for sure it's errors, miscalculations in digestion, food sources, nutrition, not fueling enough, overfueling and overexerting at the same time, and then that's when kind of things blow up on people. All right, next week I'm going to be having, I'll do a 12-mile run next Sunday. Tomorrow is actually going to be a light day, so tomorrow I'm just swimming, and it's going to be basically a pull workout to take some time off of my legs, let my legs rest up. And then next Sunday or Saturday, the boys have their football playoffs. So that's gonna be in the afternoon. So I'm gonna need to either get my training in early or I'll split it before and after. And then do that long run next Sunday, which will be my last long run leading into Daytona. And honestly, I will make a few posts this week. Most likely I'll do that run at the gym. And I'll just see, I'll make a post and have guys show up, or whoever wants to show up and be there, because I had a lot of fun running with everybody last week.